Analytically, you're right.
Analytically, but Kevin, what I'm interested in is on a given night like this where we're going to see a ton of threes, what's the decision-making of the guy with the ball? Sometimes it'll be the point guard. It might be a wing player, but how smart is he at finding the right shooter at the right time at the three-point line on these fast breaks?
Making those big decisions, you're right. So here's Oklahoma City's starting group. Robertson and Gallinari at the small and power forward positions. Gilgeous-Alexander out there with Paul, and it's Adams in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. And for the 76ers, the tall lineup out there for the 76ers. Simmons, Richardson, Harris, Horford, and Embiid. And so it's the Thunder getting on the board first. Richardson outside. Gilgeous-Alexander with the steal. Knocked away and stolen by Richardson. The feed to Harris. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot two here.
Well, he's a capable shooter, but I like the initiative there from Tobias, taking it inside, forcing the defense back, and drawing contact.
Well, we knew that Tobias Harris would be one of the big names during free agency this past summer.
Wasn't a lot of speculation for him when free agency hit. Ends up staying with the Sixers, and I think it makes sense for both sides, and he fits nicely next to Embiid.
First free throw is good.
Well, you look at the career of Tobias Harris, and boy, he's bounced around a bit. Has never slowed his development or production, though. You put him anywhere, and he'll find a way to help his team.
And Harris drops them both. And with Harris, he's been moved so many times. You know what, Greg? You forget he's still quite young.
Yeah, I mean, he really is just starting to enter what should be the prime of his career. Has improved every offseason and is a great rebounder and scorer.
Now here's Paul. 5 to shoot. Lets a floater go, and the layup is up and in.
So tough to keep up with the energy of Chris Paul at the point guard position, especially when he's handling the rock like that.
Pass to Harris. Embiid kicks to Richardson. A baseline J. Adams, some nice D. And here's the fast break. Gallinari leading the way. Here's Gilgeous-Alexander.
Gallinari at that size can do a little bit of everything, and I like to see him dishing the rock.
And so just over a minute and a half played. Simmons looking around. The pass to Harris. Back to Simmons. Shoots over Gilgeous-Alexander. No good from Simmons.
Well, with his touch from mid-range, Kevin, that's almost always good. That won't shake his confidence.
Now, here's Robertson. Guarded by Simmons. Gilgeous-Alexander with it. Poke loose. Here's Richardson. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass.
Richardson doing a great job in transition. Has good speed. That time accelerates in the open floor.
And every season, the Thunder continue to be one of the more dominating teams on the glass.
Just wonder how much Steven Adams has been the catalyst for that kind of mentality. We know that offensively he's always in there to grab rebounds, but it's part of what they know is important in any possession is collecting the ball.
Here's Gallinari. Rebound by the 76ers.
And even though he didn't get a piece of that shot, you love the pressure he puts on the shooter.
Yeah, that's the kind of energy that you want to see on every possession throughout the game. Yeah, that's not an assignment that I want there, Kevin. I'd rather do math homework than to try and cover that guy.
Adams, the pass to Gallinari. Second shot opportunity. That shot missing. And the 76ers go the other way with it. Here's Harris. And slam dunk by Harris.
Harris with a head of steam, put his head down, and then put the ball down.
And first time of the game called for Oklahoma City.
Well, what's not to like about Joel Embiid? A physical specimen at over 7 feet tall. All all the skill in the world and a personality made for stardom.
Some changes for Philadelphia. Kyle O'Quinn is checked in for Joel Embiid. Jonah Bolden comes in for Al Horford. And Smith subbed in for Richardson. And a new group getting ready for Oklahoma City. Nerlens Noel checks in for Adams. Muscala comes in for Robertson. Terrence Ferguson's checked in for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. And Dennis Schroeder subbed in for Paul. That one good for 2.
A heady play there from Schroeder, zipping the pass to the teammate who had the cleanest look on the possession.
You talk about Embiid's personality, whether it's on the court or through social media. Greg, he's not shy speaking his mind.
One of the best trash talkers in the league. He doesn't hold back, but it's never personal. He's embracing the spirit of competition.
And they call the foul, so he's got the and one chance here to make it a three-point play. Oklahoma City shooting their first free throw of the game.
And one of the weaker areas for this group, only shot about 71% from the line a season ago.
Well, last season, Terrence Ferguson was a starter for the Thunder, and Brent, he made some improvements in his second season.
Yeah, this is another guy for this team that they're just trying to find not just consistent minutes, but consistency in his play.
Smith finds Harris. Smith surveying the D, and the rejection by Noel.
Noel in there to intimidate, and does so there.
And slam dunk by Noel.
Oh, and the lead gets bigger on a ridiculous offensive sequence.
That dunk alone would have been spectacular. Never mind it coming at the end of an alley-oop. Smith dishes to Harris. Simmons on the wing. He lobs it up. Lays it in off the pretty alley-oop.
And with off-the-charts awareness, Simmons makes plays that others simply don't see.
From deep. And that would have counted, but his shot was off the mark this time. 1 quarter in the books, and it's been a close one so far. It's the Thunder up 3. And the second quarter about to get started. Chris Paul, an elite defensive player, a student of the game for sure, talks.
The steals thing is just something that I've always had a knack for doing, and just I think it's because I watch so much basketball.
You hear about the importance of watching film, Greg. It reveals itself in many ways.
And learning guys' habits, what they like to do, gives him a knack for when to go after steals without hurting his team.
And it's been a pretty even game here after 1 quarter of play. What do you guys think about the Thunder here in this one?
Well, they used the fast break to generate some easy buckets before the defense could get set.
Yeah, they did a great job. Just the initial thrust of that attack, as soon as they got the ball, constantly in transition.
And a moment now to reset the lineups, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up for the second quarter of basketball. Taking a look at the 76ers, Smith and Harris are out on the wing. Then there's Ben Simmons. Then there's Scott, and it's Bolden in at the center. Passes it to Noel. Gallinari outside. Some solid defense from Harris. And it's Smith with the ball. He brings it up for the 76ers. They haven't allowed any points in the second quarter. Sometimes when a shooter misses a wide open shot, Brent, you hear, oh, he had too much time. I mean, is that really a thing?
I mean, in life, do we really have to? You never have too much time.
Never have too much time.
You can never have too much time.
I think about Marc Gasol, like in the finals and the playoffs last year. He would sit there and no one would even be around him.
And he's tiptoeing like, do I shoot? Do I shoot? I think it messes with you just in terms of the psychological part about like,
it's got
why,
you.
why isn't anybody guarding me here? Well, if you're a bad shooter, there's a really good reason why they're not guarding you.
And they double up Simmons, and contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. That one on Gallinari.
And this summer, a 5-year, $170 million max contract extension for Ben Simmons. The Sixers didn't want to give him any cause to look elsewhere. A great talent, but the hope with that kind of money is that he'll develop that jump shot.
Here's what Philadelphia's going with right now. Embiid, he's checked in for Bolden. Horford comes in for Mike Scott. And Josh Richardson subbed in for Smith. And a new group in here for the Thunder. Adams, he's checked in for Nerlens Noel. Andre Robertson comes in for Gallinari. Gilgeous-Alexander's checked in for Terrence Ferguson. And Paul's subbed in for Dennis Schroeder. Chalk up 2 there. Paul's got 6 points.
Well, that's a sweet spot for Paul. That zone between the arc and the paint might be his favorite. A career 50% two-point shooter.
And Paul over to help. Richardson gets a wide open look. Another miss by Philadelphia.
I saw a green light there, Kevin. The D's not going to get away with that kind of lapse all that often here tonight.
Paul against Harris. Over Harris.
Quickness of Chris Paul dicing up the defense with his superb passing off the screen.
And we're now a little over 2.5 minutes into the second quarter. Richardson kicks to Simmons. Shot clock at 5. And the rebound goes to the Thunder. Adams has got his 5th rebound right now in the game. Here's Robertson. He's been quiet so far. Still no points in the game. Gilgeous-Alexander surveying the D. Oklahoma City needs to get off a shot. For 3. A shot by Paul. No good.
Didn't hesitate for a second to get a hand up on that deep ball.
Yeah, you got to like how he hustled the guard out on the perimeter, definitely respecting the shooting ability.
And guys, they continue to put a lot of pressure on the interior defenders with their work down low.
And that'll be Oklahoma City as it goes out of bounds. Thunder retain possession. Now a timeout called by Oklahoma City. And after he missed the first 2 seasons of his career, Greg, with a broken bone in his foot, would injuries be your main concern for Joel Embiid?
Look, no doubt about it. As long as he's healthy, he's an all-league performer. Still, 7-footers carry a lot of weight in our league. He wants to prove he can play big minutes. They just got to make sure they protect him.
Closing in on 4 minutes played here in the second quarter.
Great effort from Adams there. We know he has that size to take the contact, but determined on that play to get the points.
Outside, Simmons. Pass to Horford. Outside for Simmons. Puts up a 3. They get it back. Horford. Embiid, the pass to Horford. Feeds it to Harris. And slam dunk by Harris.
I like seeing Josh Richardson distribute the ball, especially when his teammates are wide open. That makes for an easy pass.
Simmons against Paul. Over Simmons. And it's Paul missing.
He's got so many ways to score in the post. Just nifty, uses fakes. You have to have a body on him every time he's down there.
Outside, Simmons. Popped up there for Embiid. And the dunk by Embiid. Several lead changes going on here in the early portion of this game.
It reminds me of that cameo song, Back and Forth.
From deep three-point range, from beyond the arc, and then some. Gilgeous-Alexander's got 5 now.
More and more promise here as a jump shooter, as Gilgeous-Alexander has a solid three-point shot.
And that'll do it for the first half, a competitive game. Thank you, David, and we'll be back for the third quarter of action following halftime.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Greetings to each and every one of you watching at this very moment. I'm Ernie Johnson. Kenny the Jet Smith is here. Shaq is here. One half is behind us. Welcome to the 2K Sports Halftime Show. A competitive matchup for Oklahoma City in the first quarter. At the end of the period, they held a 3-point lead. The second quarter saw them lose just a fraction of the lead they held at the end of the first, as they're now ahead by 2 points. And that's a wrap.
And we've got second half action for you. Thus far, a pretty evenly contested game. You look at Tobias Harris, he has really been playing well.
Yeah, and early on, he has been feasting in the paint, and you have to think they're going to keep feeding the big fella.
Oh, man, pouring it on right now, and why wouldn't you?
76ers trailing.
And for Coach Billy Donovan of the Thunder, a lot on the line. In his last year of a 5-year contract with the team, the end result of this team will determine his future with the franchise.
Well, this team has never missed the playoffs under his watch, and the interesting thing with the massive trades that happened in the offseason, how much Billy Donovan gets the opportunity now to teach and coach this group of players.
And on the floor for Billy Donovan as we get into the second half. Gallinari and Adams, the combo out front. Paul out there with Gilgeous-Alexander, and it's Robertson in at the 3 spot. Ben Simmons gets the bucket.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
Pass to Robertson. Gallinari wide open, and it's off from 3-point range. Simmons finds Embiid. It's hauled in by Adams.
And the effort never stops with him. No easy shots when he's on the floor.
Well, it's about the defensive end, and that's what guys feed off. He gives the effort down there at all times.
Well, when Danilo Gallinari came into the NBA, Brent, he was just a catch-and-shoot type player. But he's so much more than that now.
Well, I think with the way the league has changed with the three-point shot and Gallinari's ability to do that, he's gotten a lot smarter about picking his spots when the pump fake can drive in and draw some contact.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
And he makes the first. Brent, when it comes to moving around in tight quarters without a lot of space, who's the quickest player that you have seen in a half-court set this year?
Still remarkable to watch where it is that Kyrie Irving can get to on the floor in any sort of possession. It's like he could take, 50 dribbles in a phone booth and find a way out of it, spinning around and finding gaps within the defense.
What a hand.
But it's not his handle with just the one hand, right, Kevin? It's that he has an idea of, after he does the moves around the traffic, when he gets into the basket, multiple ways of finishing, much like Rod Strickland, who was a tremendous finisher in his days years and years ago. Kyrie's got a lot of that in his game.
And they're 1 of 4 here to start the second half.
Ferguson kicks it over to Schroeder. Gallinari left side. Doesn't go that time. Nice D from Scott.
Not been an easy start. 3 straight misses here on these possessions.
Poked away. Gilgeous-Alexander with the steal. Schroeder outside. Gallinari outside. Shot clock at 6. Top of the key, Gilgeous-Alexander. Oh, he blocked it and deflects off the backboard.
Ugh, ugly start. Second half, they've missed their first 4. They've got to get on track.
Tobias can take you off the bounce. He has that strong face-up game and creates offense that time.
Now a timeout called by Oklahoma City.
And when he gets ahead of steam, you almost feel sorry for defenders. Ben Simmons, a combination of size, speed, and ball handling that can at times be unstoppable.
And the 76ers with some changes. Jonah Bolden's checked in for Embiid, and Smith subbed in for Richardson. A touch over 2.5 minutes of basketball played here in the third quarter. And stolen by Scott. And on our sideline, our reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, tampering is a touchy subject, but it's a word we're hearing more often. Teams want to retain their star players, but they know that there's always talk during a season. Now, teams can only express interest in a player when he hits free agency. Players can talk amongst each other freely all season. Star players like LeBron James are tied into their front offices. Some people wonder if there's much of a difference between what the player says and what his team is thinking. Kevin?
Good point, David. Thank you. And with his passing and driving ability, Greg, Simmons is like combining a power running back in football with a pinpoint passing quarterback. Not much he can't do.
Kevin, a football metaphor is appropriate. Simmons grew up playing Australian rules football, and the physicality and quick thinking of that sport really reflected in his style of play. That's the kind of aggressive and assertive play they need as we get closer and closer to crunch time.
And the 76ers decide to take their first time out here.
And coaches looking to seize every advantage, maximize every possession.
You got to feel good as a coach if you make all those adjustments, pull the right strings. That's what they love to do.
And the 76ers making a change here. O'Quinn's checked in. And a switcher also for Oklahoma City. Muscala's checked in. 1:14 left to play in the third. Philadelphia moving the ball around. The drive by Simmons. Doesn't get it to drop for him. And it's Oklahoma City the other way.
Teammates right now covering up for the type of off performance he's having. In terms of scoring, this has not been his best night.
And that'll be Oklahoma City's ball as it goes out of bounds. Al Horford, he's checked in for Philadelphia. And then for Oklahoma City, Adams, he's checked in for Noel. Robertson comes in for Gallinari. And it's Paul in for Dennis Schroeder. Got a piece of it. Ferguson, the pass to Paul. The pass to Muscala. And a great assist by Paul as that one goes in. Muscala's got the game tied up here for Oklahoma City. And so it's Smith with it. He'll bring it up for Philadelphia. 26 seconds left here in the third quarter. Clock at 6. The Thunder pull it in. And here we go. Fast break. Paul's got it. Fires the three. The shot that time not on target. And we wrap up the third and looking to be an exciting fourth quarter. And we're coming right back. Be sure to stay with us as we get started for the fourth quarter. And let's take this chance now to show you the State Farm assist of the game.
And the definition of teamwork right there, guys. I mean, what great communication between them, and what a beautiful feed.
The coaches talk about it all the time, but to be able to play with that kind of feel, nice play, collaborating, improvising, and organic.
3/10 quarters behind us. One more to go. Thanks for being with us as we begin the fourth. The Thunder shooting around 40% from the floor here. They've got Horford. Smith is out there with Richardson. Then there's Kyle O'Quinn. And it's Bolden in at the small forward. That's the group on the floor for Philadelphia.
Well, that's a guy out there in Steven Adams that you just have to pay attention to. Every night he's going to bang around the opposing big guys and be a threat around the rim to score and pick up offensive rebounds.
That free throw, no good. And with Adams on the offensive glass, he is impossible to move.
Well, that's a big reason why a couple years ago, Kevin, he grabbed more offensive rebounds than defensive rebounds. So you know he's going to live in the paint.
And that drops, so they now lead by 1.
They come away with the lead, but I'm sure he's kicking himself over that last miss.
Here's Richardson, and Adams sends it back.
Well, Steven Adams is very much capable of anchoring a defense right there in a great spot to get the block.
And it's Paul missing.
And typically he has the touch to finish when he's in tight, but not sure on that possession.
Sinks the triple.
And this is the effort you want to see out of your guys, win or lose.
A great example out here of just a no-quit team continuing to compete until the final buzzer.
Paul's gotten 3 of his 8 shots to go, around 37%. Bolden, and that one clearly a foul, gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up.
Wow, he got whacked on that one. Shouldn't be much debate there.
Two shots. And the first one at the line is good. Joel Embiid, he's checked in for Philadelphia. Ben Simmons comes in for Smith. Gilgeous-Alexander's checked in for Oklahoma City. And he makes both free throws. Here's Paul. Passes to Gilgeous-Alexander. Banked in off the glass.
Gilgeous-Alexander becoming more and more comfortable where he can score on the floor.
And Simmons kicks to Embiid. Back to Simmons. And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. Chris Paul picks up that one. Ben Simmons at the line. The first free throw is good.
The first pick in the 2016 NBA draft, Simmons has been a phenomenal addition to our league.
And Philadelphia making a change here. Harris is checked in. Paul against Simmons. Shot is good, and the 76ers lead is cut down now to just 2 on the basket from Chris Paul.
And that's an example of playing big, adapting to the situation.
Tip of the cap there. I mean, that defense was good. The finish was better.
Here's Simmons to the inside. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. Steven Adams picks one up.
Oh, the officials are all over that one.
Joel Embiid at the line for 2. The first one falls.
We're still waiting for that first miss from the line this half.
Gallinari, he's checked in for Mike Muscala. And Embiid drops them both.
Well, he's come through for them at the line today, and you love having a big fella who's so capable on his free throw.
And stolen by Harris. Kicks it to Simmons. Just 5 to shoot. That shot is off.
Not great numbers, but great effort in this one. Sounds funny, but I think he's been a positive for them.
here is Paul. Here's the lob to Adams, and Adams with the slam.
How about Steven Adams coming through? Give him a chance.
And here's Simmons. He'll bring it up for the 76ers. A 2-point game, and Philadelphia calls time here. Chance now to recognize our Jordan player of the game, Tobias Harris.
And his percentage from the field tonight seems almost made up. I didn't think it was kind of success shooting the basketball. You need a little bit of luck, a bunch of hard work, and a whole lot of talent.
On the sideline, let's catch up with Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Well, over that last break, Kevin, I got a chance to hear what Brett Brown said to his team. He really got after him in the huddle. He said, look, you can rest after the game. You got to put it all out there if you want to win this one. Back to you guys.
Thank you, David. Paul goes in. A shot off that time. Good D by Embiid. The 76ers leading by 4. Now Simmons. He kicks it to Horford. On the way, Harris. Defended by Paul. His shot is good. And the 76ers lead by 6.
Tobias there taking the contact, still leaning with it, scores it.
Gilgeous-Alexander can't get it to go. For Philadelphia, they've gone 3 of 5 here in the 4th quarter. Pretty good numbers coming out of the break. Outside, Simmons. Horford, 3-pointer, and no good. And it's Oklahoma City the other way. Here's Gallinari, and it's sent back by Horford.
Well, a level of engagement that Horford brings on the defensive end every night is impressive. Terrific block there.
Embiid with the steal. Richardson up top, defended by Paul. Good ball movement here by the 76ers. Simmons finds Embiid. Adams, some nice D.
And he gets a lot of points right there at the rim, but the defense determined not to give up the easy deuce there.
A bucket here would give them a bit more room.
True, but no need to rush it. Play smart.
.30 seconds left to play here in the 4th. And now we've got the intentional foul.
Shooting for Philadelphia, Ben Simmons.
And that hurts as he doesn't get the first one to fall. Trying to focus now on the second. So he comes up empty, missing both. Here's Oklahoma City now. They trail by 6. Here's Gilgeous-Alexander. Paul's shot is off. And so they foul intentionally.
Shooting for Philadelphia, Ben Simmons. At the line for 2.
And he cannot get the first one to drop. Tough one to miss. He's able to hit the second one, and that makes it a 7-point lead. Now a timeout called by Oklahoma City. They're trailing by 7. 15 seconds left to play in the final quarter. Guys, your thoughts?
Trying to keep hope alive, but I don't see them making a comeback.
Yeah, this is the classic too little, too late. The effort coming and not enough time for them to get back in it.
.15 seconds left in the 4th quarter. Can they get it? And O'Quinn sends it back.
O'Quinn demonstrating solid timing there. And that's a pretty vicious rejection.
So the 76ers win it. It was up for grabs right until the final second.